afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the HART Sapphire Series competition matches here at the Queensland State Netball Centre this afternoon. The first match that we're going to be watching today is the Ipswich Jets and the Northern Rays. My name's Karen Top, and I'll be joined in commentary this afternoon by Dominic Day. Welcome, Dom.
Thanks, Karen.
It's great to be here again, to be watching some fantastic netball in the HART Sapphire Series.
It definitely
Looking
is.
forward to a great game between these two teams. We have a number of the Firebirds players out on court today, and looking forward to see how they've fit in with the remainder of the Sapphire Series players.
Yeah, this is probably round 2 of the Sapphire Series, where the Firebirds have come back into the two teams. So Kimmy J or Kim Jenner is for the Northern Rays, as well as Laura Klamisha for the Ipswich Jets. So they should be able to slip right in, having that last game last week. So yeah, looking forward to the game today, Toppy.
Absolutely, and we're just having a look at the competition ladder there in front of us. So at the moment, with the majority of teams having played 2, the QT Wildcats are sitting on top.
They are.
Given that there's bonus points for each of the quarters won, as well as overall game points. Quite quickly, Wildcats have pushed out to 27.
Yeah, it's, I think, a little bit surprising with the ladder at the moment. Obviously, Carina League's club Tigers down on the bottom end of the ladder. They won't be happy with that position there, so they'll play later on against the Bull Sharks, so they'll probably look to secure a top 4 position, I guess, at the end of this round.
Absolutely. So Ipswich Jets sitting in the middle of the table at the moment. Northern Rays have only played the 1 game at this stage. They'll be looking to build today. Would you like to introduce our Ipswich team?
So for Ipswich Jets, we have goal shooter Lucy Benjamin, goal attack Rosie Baker, wing attack Brooke Hams, centre Steph O'Brien, wing defence Leah Woolnough, goal defence Siobhan Sherlock, and goalkeeper Laura Klamisha. On the bench we have Bella Ryan, Michaeli Hosh, and Stevie Lingman. And she probably wants to be captain. Coach is Tracy Jeans Fraser.
So a really experienced lineup there with the Ipswich Jets. Looking at the Northern Rays, goal shooter Chantel Tikatow, goal attack Jacqueline Dupee, wing attack Ariana Wilcoxon, centre Michaela Katalecki, wing defence Leah O'Brien, goal defence Kimberly Jenner, goalkeeper Chloe Cooper, substitutions Zakalia Peterson, Chloe Fredrickson, Zoe McIntyre, Taylor Crossley, and coached by Gillian Joyce. Rays are new into this competition. They've got a number of their younger players coming through from Cairns and Townsville. They travel long distances to be able to train together during the week.
Yeah, definitely do.
And they're certainly, from the feedback I've had so far, they're certainly learning a lot in the new competition, which is fantastic, and continuing to build their game.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years since obviously Netball Queensland's obviously made this new series, I guess. We were with obviously the old series last year, and no Steel Cats up north, so obviously the Northern Rays are looking to secure that Northern Queensland position, I guess.
Absolutely. The players are just about to be called out on court. It's always a great moment when you're waiting. Those nerves are certainly in play at this point in time, and as players you're wanting to get out there.
Yeah. And the Jets played against the Cougars on Tuesday night, so a short turnaround in this game here on Sunday. So they'll obviously look to run out the legs in the first couple of minutes, get all that jelly and acid out of their legs from Tuesday night.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting to see how both teams settle in at the beginning of this game. The experience from the Jets as opposed to the enthusiasm from our Northern Rays, and how they work together as a group, particularly when they're out on the show court. It's such a big space.
Yeah, and it's nice and loud in here. We've got some obviously volleyball competitions going on at the moment, so a lot of noise around, so they'll look to secure or settle into this game. Ipswich Jets has the first centre pass to Brooke Hams, so And here we go. So round 3 of the Sapphire series. And an early intercept and tip by Kim Jenner there.
Jets doing a great job there in transition just to hold the Rays up, and the Rays certainly looking to be able to.
That's unlucky to Leah there. I thought she kept her 3 feet, got the intercept.
She did a great job.
Very scrappy at the moment. Both teams are looking to settle into the game there.
That resilience that you need to just keep going when things are not quite falling your way. How do you grab hold of that ball and take a breath, settle and find the momentum in the game?
Yeah, and you look to those middies there. Lucy Benjamin, missed shot, unfortunately.
She turned to the post really quickly, which was fantastic. Again, just those first moments when the nerves are still rushing.
Yeah.
As shooters to be able to settle in. What were some of the things you found when you were still in your shooting days?
In my shooting days, that's a long time ago, Toffee, now. But yeah, I was obviously looking to get closer to the post, so having that shuffle shot with the middies as well. So get nice and close, have your first shot, breathe it through, and hopefully it goes through the ring.
I've been out at State Age.
Oh, yeah, yep, in the rain.
In the rain yesterday. So 2019 Nissan State Age Championships that are happening with our 12s, 13s, 14s and 15s at Pine Rivers. And a big shout out to all of the volunteers at Pine Rivers who are doing a fantastic job.
Yes, definitely. Oh, and another missed shot.
Watching so many of our young players as they're finding their feet, and you know, there's so much talent out there, but at the same time, how do they deal with when the game starts and settling in, finding out about the opposition?
Yep. It's really, the experienced players and the older girls. So you're looking for your Steph O'Brien from the Jets, and obviously Kim Jenner of the Northern Rays there, that have the most experience in the key positions there.
A fantastic ball into the circle there from the Rays, being able to see that vision, to see Chantel underneath the post.
Footwork call again.
Both teams just settling in, like that pace of the game and the challenges that are going out there, just some of those basic errors creeping in.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard for the Jets to obviously kind of tune into the Northern Rays game plan. Obviously, the Northern Rays don't get a lot of time playing together, so they're a little bit unorthodox compared to the Jets there. So it'd be looking quite interesting to see how both teams go against each other.
And I'm just noticing out there that it looks like the Jets changed their lineup with Steph O'Brien in wing attack and Brooke Hams starting at centre. Great persistence there from Leah Woolnough to chase that loose ball and get it back to a teammate.
Yeah. And when you don't hear her call you this play on, keep them running for the ball. Kimmy J's got her hand in everything. So a bit of a tip off there as well.
And our umpire's working really hard to also get into the pace of this game.
Yeah, and a shout out to the umpires today is Nicole Pratt and Rachel Thomas. And our reserve is Jake Shepherd. So Jets go 2 up in the first quarter of the Sapphire Series, round 3.
And similar to the players when they've got to deal with injury, props to both Nicole and to Rachel, because they dealt with a lot of injuries last year, and again they had to work their way through their rehab process to make it back on court and to get back up to this standard as umpires.
And umpires don't have the easy game, I guess. They have to obviously get in a group to be selected to umpire these games. So well done to those 2 umpires today.
Absolutely. Score's still fairly even. Jets just pushing out a little, leading 4-2 at the moment. Looks like they're starting to settle into their rhythm as they bring the ball down to the court. Although on that occasion, the Rays doing a great job to pick up that ball on the floor. I'm
really liking the goalkeeper for the Northern Rays, Chloe Cooper, playing against obviously the more experienced Lucy Benjamin. Lucy's come back obviously from the ANL series playing for the Northern Territory Storm, so she's doing really well against an experienced shooter in Lucy.
At this stage she's doing a great job of moving her feet around, the goal shooter, confusing that space somewhat, so it's making it harder for the Jets to be able to get the ball in.
And great shot there.
At the other end, the Rays seemed that time to just find their timing, movement, good ball placement, and a great shot. And again, looking to move it quickly.
Quite speedy mid-court for the Northern Rays. Don't have a lot of height on them, so obviously have to get around their player quite quickly. And the shooters are doing quite well against, obviously, Clem and Siobhan there. So we're locked in at 4-all. Halfway through the first quarter of the round 3 of Sapphire Series. I think Rosie Baker needs to do a lot more work at the front there in front of, obviously, tall Benjamin there. She's kind of hanging back and letting the ball do its work, which is a good thing. But, yeah, she really needs to up her ante in workload. Oh, great hold by the shooter there. Tikatau. Great shot, great finish.
Chantel's nickname is Prinny, which is how I know her, so I'm sure that I'm more likely to call her Prinny as we go on with the game.
Yeah.
She did a great job there with that strong body hold.
Offensive contact there by Lucy.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. I didn't see it, but obviously the umpire did, and great intercept there by Steph O'Brien. Just got her fingertips in there.
Great work and quickly down the court. Just going back to Prinny, she was a training partner with the under-19s team this year for Queensland State team. Spent a lot of time travelling from Cairns to Brisbane for the training sessions that were held down here, and certainly from speaking to her, enjoyed the experience and learnt a lot from being in that program. And it's great to see some of our regional players making their way and being given opportunities within those programs. And then being able to bring it out here on court against players with more experience in this league.
Yep.
Good positioning from Kinney Jenner underneath the post for that rebound.
Yeah, I think this goalkeeper's got into Lucy's head at the moment. I think she's one of 4 shots.
Yeah. That challenge coming down the court with the shooter. And I'm not sure whether it was the shooter or the goal attack sitting behind Clem at goalkeeper. Always a challenge to go over Clem's head.
Yeah. She's not a short girl by any means.
It's that challenge as players when you first sussing out what's your opponent capable of doing, how tall are they, what's the height difference, where do I need to release that ball. Certainly something that we want to work on more and more with our younger players.
Lucy will want to go through the hoop. Oh, she passes off to Baker, and Baker gets the shot. So this is a time where Jets and obviously the Rays will want to settle into the game. They've kind of felt each other around and make sure of their passes and their shots, and obviously, settle right down into the game. Great shot there by Baker.
Looks like the Jets are just starting to get their circle rotation happening, as in Lucy on the hold and Rosie starting to move around.
Yeah, she must have heard me, hey?
Potentially, Dom.
Up in the bleachers here.
Maybe they've got an earpiece in.
Maybe.
It has been discussed that that could be one of those innovations that come in down the line.
Yeah.
Not sure how many players want the coach's voice in their head as they're playing.
Well, with the Suncorp, they now mic people up. I think the last player that I heard mic'd up was Steph Wood.
Yes.
And she's a great talker on court. Obviously, she's very settled goal attack.
She is.
Great shot there by Baker. Takes Jets 9 to Rays 5.
So we're coming into that last 5 minutes of this quarter. And if we think about,
intercept, unlucky. I think she got a corky there for her troubles for the intercept there by Cooper. She's a little bit ginger, but she'll walk it off. Here's that replay. Kimmy J just wanted the intercept all by herself.
They both the same ball and in the same space.
Hungry for it.
So it's almost like that first 5 minutes, everyone was trying to figure out what they were doing and get a handle on their nerves. The next 5 minutes, we've settled into good basic netball, figuring out what's happening, and now as people are getting into their rhythm, figuring out how they take advantage of any turnovers that they earn.
Yeah, and you can really feel the pace of the game kind of drop off a little bit, and they're obviously securing the passes a little bit more than when we obviously started the game. Not too sure what that call was, but might have been a step or a...
Well, nobody was out of play.
No.
So.
Yeah, so either, step or held ball or just a free pass there. Kimmy J unfortunately out of play outside the circle. Baker looks to secure the shot, and she does. So obviously the Northern Rays are the club representing the whole of North Queensland, so right from Cairns right down to obviously the Sunshine Coast, with Thunder taking over the Sunshine Coast area. So a lot of area to cover, and hopefully a lot of players to choose from up north.
Yeah, Mackay, Townsville and Cairns regions have joined together.
Yeah.
So the majority of the planning comes through Mackay and Townsville, and there's a number of the Cairns players that have made the team.
Yeah, and Cooper goes off with an injury, possibly that corky to that leg from Kimmy J.
We haven't seen any rolling subs at this stage.
No, we haven't. I was here on Tuesday night watching Cougars play, and they did a few rolling subs, and I was quite interested to see how they do it. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I did play a little bit of touch when I was a bit younger, so obviously that rolling subs we had. So I'd be interested in see how netball deals with it, having it available.
Jets just pushing the scoreline out here at the moment, 13-6.
Yeah, and that's probably with the Rays not having as much game time experience as a whole. Obviously, Jets, with being West Lions last year, pretty much the same team, core of the team, I guess. So they have more experience in game time together.
Absolutely. It's great to see some of the younger players like Leah Woolnough coming from the Lions under-19s, and Leah's played through the 17s and 19s state teams as well, and now stepping up into this top level of the HART Sapphire series.
Well done, Steph O'Brien there, all over Kimmy J. Steph might be a little bit shorter on the height scale, but she's got some hops, that's for sure. Strong legs through the core.
Absolutely. And again, one of those experienced players that was either in or on the fringe of Queensland state teams for quite some time.
Yeah.
When she was younger.
Yeah. And it's good to see that she had that, I guess, experience or opportunity to play with the Sunshine Coast Lightning as a training partner last year.
G'day. Sorry.
That's all right.
I
just a volume issue.
accidentally bumped the volume that goes into our ears, which was somewhat challenging.
Apologies for everyone at home listening. Another shot to Northern Rays.
So we're coming into the first quarter break. What do you think are some of the things that the coaches will be talking to their teams about?
Yeah, I think with Tracy Jeans-Fraser, she should be happy with the finish of her team, but definitely not the start. It was very, very scrappy by the Jets in the first, I would say, probably 10 minutes.
Great eyes from Kim Jenner then to see that ball going into the pocket. You want your defences to have their eyes up and be looking to pick that ball off.
Yeah, so Tracy's obviously going to be happy with the last 5 minutes in patches, I guess. So she'd be looking for her experienced older players to really assert their dominance in the whole 15 minutes. Every coach wants a full 15 minutes performance instead of 5 minutes. And great shot there by the Northern Rays.
Pretty having confidence to go to the post. at distance. They're looking to use this last 8 seconds.
Yeah.
Great transition down the court and able to pull this quarter back to within 4.
If I was the Northern Rays coach, I would be very happy with that performance of that first quarter. I know they played against the Wildcats last year up in their home court, and I think they were with the Wildcats for a little bit of the first quarter, and then it kind of blew out a little bit. So going into the first quarter, Jets leave 15 to Rays 11.
And it's been a really exciting match to this point. Enjoyed what's happening here at the Queensland State Netball Centre. There's plenty of seats available for anyone that would like to come down and join us. There are another 2 games that are happening this afternoon. If you'd like to come and join us live, or they'll also be on the live streaming.
And it's very dry in here, no rain or anything.
Absolutely. We'll look forward to seeing you at the start of the next quarter. Welcome back to the Queensland State Netball Centre for this Sapphire Heart Series match between the Ipswich Jets Netball and the Northern Rays. At this stage, the scoreline is 15 to the Jets, 11 to the Rays. Your thoughts, Dom, going into the beginning of this second quarter?
Yeah, like as we obviously touched on it before the first quarter, I would expect that the Jets are going to really push out this second quarter, really stamp their dominance in the second quarter, and heavy knock there by Steph O'Brien. Yeah, really stamp their authority in the second quarter and try to, I guess, great intercept by Kimmy J.
Kimmy's getting a hand to lots of ball. As coach, I'd be encouraging her to then start to pull those in.
Yeah,
with both hands as much as possible.
Yeah. And she's obviously wanting to get some Ks into her legs while the Birdies have a bit of a break over the Netball World Cup. And I believe they start in about 5 days, I saw on Instagram today.
Yes.
Oh, that was easy for Clem there.
Great eyes to the ball. She timed that movement particularly well. And was going the line of the ball.
Yeah, and now the Rays middies will be very scared of Clem coming in, cutting off their ponytails on the edge of the circle.
Absolutely. Great work in transitioning that down court and being able to score off the turnover.
There's that intercept again. Beautiful.
That was pretty much textbook as a coach.
Yep.
What we're wanting our goalkeepers to be able to do.
Yep. Jets are just trying to work a little bit too many wheat bix this morning there from Baker. Oh, very unfortunate to the wing defence from Northern Rays, getting pulled for offside.
Does look like the Rays have made a change there in their goal defence. It looks, goalkeeper, as in Chloe Cooper hasn't come back onto the court at this stage.
She's got a leg up on the side of the bench there, so she might be out for possibly the game. We might have to send a little birdie down there and do a courtside interview like, where's Geitzy when you need her?
Absolutely.
Geitzy, if you're listening, we need a courtside commentator if you're free. Well done, Steph O'Brien there, and gets the intercept and back up by Brooke Hams. Steph O'Brien's having a killer of a game today.
She is.
She's up and about, very enthusiastic for her team.
Steph's work rate is always high.
Yeah.
She's always very positive with her teammates. She keeps going for all of those balls. If there's a ball on the ground, Steph is quite often the first one that gets there.
Yeah. Unlucky there from Siobhan.
Siobhan had fairly good front position. Probably just need to take that one more step and to go with the outside arm for that to be clean.
Yeah.
Prinny working hard to get closer to the post.
Take a step in. Oh, great rebounds over the head of Clem.
It's also trying to encourage shooters that they have the advantage when it comes off their hand. Usually they know whether it's going to go in or not, and if they can follow in strong and time that jump, they quite often will get it over the top of a defender.
Yeah. And when you were a mediocre shooter like myself, I always knew when it was going off, so I was in there trying to hustle for the ball.
Yeah. Lucy Benjamin at shooter has settled into the game after that initial period and started to find good body position against her defence.
Yeah.
And now is creating some space for her mid-court to be able to deliver that pass.
I think she's pretty happy in Kim J giving her goalkeeper Cooper a bit of a corky on the leg.
Jets just again in this first 5-minute period of the second quarter starting to push the scoreline out 20-12 at the moment. You know, Lucy's starting to feel comfortable in that goal shooting role when she starts to step in and shoots over the top of.
I think we have a tactical timeout to the Northern Rays. So we'll see if Cooper stands up and has a look. We'll have a look at her leg. I think she's got her left calf strapped. If I can zoom in on her.
Oh.
Yeah, she's not getting in the huddle, so I would expect that she's probably not going to make a comeback, unfortunately.
So, tactical timeouts are new in this competition, similar to those that are in the SSN competition. What do you think might be some of the things that the coaches are talking about in this timeout?
Well, it looks like we're going to have a bit of a change up in the Ipswich Jets. Steph O'Brien doesn't have a bib on at the moment, so I would imagine that Brooke Hams has gone back to wing attack, and we have Kosh come on to centre, I believe. She's getting a chat to there. And with the Northern Rays, I would just expect that their coach is just talking about kind of settling back into the game. They started off quite well. They're getting a little bit of, I guess, putting under the bus by the Ipswich Jets with a lot of pressure over their ball and everything like that. So they're getting a little bit worked up, I guess, with the pace of the game of Ipswich Jets.
It's that challenge when you're coming up a team that's moving a little faster and a little harder of how you still play your own game.
Yeah.
Rather than being bustled into making errors.
Yep.
Finding ways to be able to slow the game down, sometimes shortening or lengthening your drives, changing up the timing, changing up the angles of the drives to be able to create more space.
The Rays just trying to work it down to the goal end of theirs. Oh, well done, Leah Woolnough. Got her hands in around the circle there. And now it's Ipswich turn, trying to work down to their attacking end. Great drive by Brooke Hams there. And Lucy Benjamin finishes it off.
I am liking the colour of Lucy's shoes.
Oh, bit of a pink and purple fan, are you, Toppy?
I am. I've just noticed them. I should have noticed them earlier. Oh, great
well
work around the
done.
circle edge. Must have just stepped on the line as she was going.
Oh, Kimmy J again. Great backup by the wing defence on the outside of the circle.
Kimmy's utilising her speed to be able to just sit off the player a little bit and time the movement through. She came through the middle of two players really cleanly with that amazing body control that she has and able to pick those balls off. Clem returning favour at the other end.
Yes. That was a good hold by Lucy Benjamin there. Kimmy J was trying to get around the body, but may have collected her on the way through.
Jets have just pushed the scoreline out 23-12 at the moment, so the Rays will be looking to work on that transition down the court and to score a couple of goals to settle in. It's that challenge when you get down there of wanting to feel confident going to the post as opposed to thinking, okay, let's work our way close to the post for this one, see if we can get an easy ball in and then come back for the next.
Yeah. We have a Northern Rays player warming up on the bike there, so she may come on as a rolling sub. She's got a wing attack bib on. Great intercept there by the Northern Rays.
Jets just trying to force that ball in a little with everyone in a very small space. So they just probably needed to use the edge of the circle to look to reset. Great timing from Siobhan Shawlaw to go up for that rebound from the Ipswich Jets.
Yeah, Northern Rays are getting enough ball. They're not capitalising on their shots at the moment. So the two young goalers will just need to take an extra breath. Here we go again.
Just playing that shorter game there at the moment, which I think served them well.
Well done, Clemmy.
Yeah.
Outside arm to that one.
And that challenge again when Clem's a head taller, longer arms. Where is that position for the ball to be delivered so that it's a little safer? Like to see Prini stand up just a little bit taller and hold that space a little longer.
Yeah. Bit of a rush of blood by the Jets just before with Hams throwing into Lucy Benjamin. Bit of a miscommunication as well.
Great timing from Lucy to sweep around the edge of the circle. Probably needed to take a breath before she went for that shot.
Good confidence, though, to have a long shot.
Absolutely.
And with the scoreline being a little bit further out, it's, I guess, this time to practice your long shots. Not saying anything against, obviously, Northern Rays. But, yeah, definitely this time to practice.
That was a great ball delivered into the goal attack.
So with 6.5 to go, Jets lead 25 to the Rays 13.
Yeah, the challenge is always for shooters when they've taken that hard drive and like the heart rate's gone up as you've made the drive, you've taken it on the strong ball to then settle for the ball to come off your hand for the shot. Great drive up the middle from Prini then to let the rest of the attackers start to reorganise.
It's almost like a decoy run, I guess.
Yeah.
Right up the middle. Great shot there.
Clem had great pressure over that ball and Prini was just confident in going to the post.
And good high release over, obviously, Kulnisha being 6 foot.
Yeah. Great pressure from the wing defence to force that turnover.
I think Cooper's coming back on. Calf is ready and raring to go.
So the Rays, for them, the challenge is just now they're getting those turnovers, being able to bring the ball down court efficiently.
Oh, great. That's
excellent
a great
work.
ball. Very unfortunate there that they couldn't capitalise. Oh, bit of an ankle.
Yeah, just looked a little unbalanced as she took that ball. Great hands from Michaela Koch.
I was about to say, I don't agree with that one. Brookham's kind of played it up. Gold Logie to her. Unfortunate to Cooper as well. Back into the thick of things. So heavily strapped on her left calf there.
Good positioning and good strength from Lucy Benjamin in the air to be able to keep Kimberly Jenner away from that ball.
And we have 2 rolling subs for the Jets. So Steph O'Brien's back onto centre. And we have Ashlyn Garrett back in at goalkeeper. Believe this is Ashlyn's first game back in. And she's in the thick of things as well. Awesome work. So she had a year off last year to obviously complete some further studies. She's quite a tall girl with quite lengthy arms as well. So we'll see how the Rays go about this. You've really got to play nice and short and moving against a tall goalkeeper as Ashlyn is.
Great rebounding from goal attack to be able to pull that ball in. Yeah, Ashlyn has great pressure over the ball. We often see it with our really tall players. It takes them a little longer to find their coordination.
Yeah, yep.
With all that extra length in limbs.
And Ashlyn being an ballerina as well, so she has that great balance on her 3 feet.
Yeah.
Bit scrappy in the mid-court here.
Yeah. So we've got about 2.5 minutes to go up until half-time. The Jets have pushed that score out 27-15.
Oh.
At the moment, just both teams struggling to be able to complete the ball up and down the court.
Great pass there by Brookhams into Lucy Benjamin along the baseline. She can't unfortunately finish off either.
So great rebound from Chloe Cooper. Unfortunately, just stepping on the line. Lucy makes sure of it this time around.
Great quick ball into the shooter here with Northern Rays. Great finish off.
So what are some of the strategies that you think this shooter needs for the Northern Rays needs to use now that she's got an even taller goalkeeper?
Even taller. I would be suggesting obviously working the baseline and multiple movements to the ball, so not just one basic movement along the baseline, because obviously Ashlyn just has to step one foot around and
yes.
I guess put out a big mitts. Yep. So yeah, really the movement around the shooter, for the shooter, sorry, is essential against Ashlyn.
It looked like that was one of the things Prinny was just doing, where she'd taken Ashlyn towards the top of the circle and then drop back towards the baseline to take that pass in space.
I would imagine that Ashlyn's the tallest player in our league at the moment.
Yeah. The Jets just doing a good job as well of drawing both the Northern Rays keep defences towards the top of the circle to create space for Lucy Benjamin to take that last ball under the post. That last 40 seconds on the clock, so you're wanting both teams to be positive in what they're doing as they come down the court and see.
Heavy fall there by Lucy.
what we can do. Chloe Cooper potentially just a little late on that challenge for the ball.
She'll settle herself. Hold again, Lucy will. And a little bit more miscommunication there as well. Lucy not taking her feet to the ball.
Yes. Looked like Lucy was saying, I'm set up on the body and I wanted here, and Steph thought she should be moving.
Typical shooters. Always blame the mid-courts.
I wasn't saying there was blame either way. I was looking at how they were setting themselves up and what they were thinking. So, strong finish to the second quarter in this game between the Ipswich Jets netball and the Northern Rays, with the Jets going into the half-time break 30-18. We're looking forward to a strong second half to this game when we come back from the break. Welcome back to the Queensland State Netball Centre for this HART Sapphire Series match that's been played by the Ipswich Jets netball team against the Northern Rays. Dom, your thoughts on what's been happening through the first half of this match?
Yeah, as we look through the, I guess, some of the stats at halftime, Something that's really obviously caught my attention is the centre pass conversion. So obviously 92% for the Ipswich Jets and 67% for the Northern Rays. So really, obviously, that shows on the scoreboard, Toppy. So Ipswich Jets are really doing quite well in 92%. Obviously, Northern Rays need to pick up their 67% a little bit. And as we go down the stats, so obviously your turnovers, Ipswich Jets a little bit more in 21 turnovers to the Northern Rays 16.
However, the conversion rates for those turnovers, the Jets, again, are doing quite well with that statistic at 90%.
Yeah.
For us here at Netball Queensland, when we have a lot of our coaching and umpiring workshops around the SSN, and we talk to the SSN coaches as part of those workshops, that turnover conversion rate is one of the key statistics they talk about regularly.
Yeah.
If we've got a turnover, how effective are we at then being able to convert that into a goal? A lot of them also talk about that centre pass conversion. Given you get every alternate centre pass, the more often that you can score off your own centre pass, the more likely you are to be in front in the game. So finding strategies to be able to work that ball effectively from your centre pass into the shooting circle, whether that be looking at more short, sharp movement, changing up the timing of it, being able to get the players in position in the shooting circle to be able to take an easier pass and finish off with a strong shot. So as we go into the second half of this game, the Ipswich Jets netball team are on 30 with the Northern Rays on 18. Northern Rays will be looking to come out and to be settled and to improve those conversion rates.
Yeah, and only they just have to win one quarter to get some points on the board, so they'll be looking to obviously win this quarter, the Northern Rays. Obviously, Ipswich Jets have won the last two, so with every point counting, I guess, at the end of the season, it's really crucial, I guess, to win some quarters if you can't win the whole game. Oh.
Leah was just trying to be a little sneaky, and
she looked down, so the umpire looked down.
It is one of those things as coaches we do say to players, keep playing.
Yeah, it's quite hard to obviously not look down when you're thinking you're out. It's just a human response to look down and see where your feet are.
The challenge is for the umpires. They're watching so many different things at the same time that sometimes, as a player, if you keep going, they might just miss that little sneaky foot on the line.
Yep. Great shot there.
Having said that, our umpires do a fantastic job. They're watching the player with the ball, the player that's got hands over the ball,
and
what's happening.
12 other players on the court.
They do a fantastic job of determining what's happening, what's the priority out here. Are people following the rules?
Oh, well done.
Great work from the Northern Rays wing defence to be in good front position.
Trying to work out who the wing defence is at the moment. Fortunately, the names on the back of the dresses are just too small for us to see up here.
They are. The Jets doing well yet again to score from that turnover.
Oh, great chase there by the wing attack.
Kim Jenner putting great pressure on Rosie Baker as they were coming out for that centre pass. And sometimes when you're talking to defenders as a coach, it's like you don't always have to get your hand to ball. Sometimes you're actually wanting to put enough pressure on that the pass doesn't quite connect.
Yeah, pretty much scaring the player out of getting the ball there.
I possibly wasn't quite suggesting scaring the player.
Yes, you were, Toppy. Just say a little bit of a boo as you're running past them.
I think that would be a bit cheeky. Jets doing a great job of just resetting and really looking for their attack end to reorganise, giving themselves a little bit of time to work it down.
And that was a typical Lucy movement there. She kind of swung around and then came back at the ball there. She does a bit of a rotation with herself, I guess.
Absolutely. Northern Rays just looking now to get that rotation happening.
I think the goal attack just needs to hold the opposite way to her player. So obviously Sherla is coming around one side and she's kind of putting her body to the other player. She just needs to turn away to obviously open up that space for that wing attack / centre to feed it in.
Good use of the backspace by the Ipswich Jets netball team. Lucy dropping into the space behind, and great placement of that pass from Steph O'Brien. A little fortunate there for that ball to drop into Lucy's hand at the top of the circle. Pass was not quite meant for her originally.
And how do you see, I guess, obviously, not saying you're old or anything, Toppy, but you've been around for a little bit. How do you see this competition shaping up to other competitions that we've had, obviously, in the State Netball Centre, or State Netball series, I guess? Right back to, I guess you were around, I remember one of my older sisters was in a dairy farmers comp, and that, as a young girl, I obviously looked up to those players there. And then, obviously, we've gone to... there's been Mount Franklin, there's been Holden, there's been a number of series that we've had. How do you think the Sapphire series shapes up to those?
The Sapphire series for me is definitely building. Each of those competitions is built on what's come before.
Yep.
And it's always great to remember where we come from.
Definitely, yeah.
But also where we're wanting to take these competitions. That there's so many opportunities that are being given to the players to be able to take the next step in the training environment, to have sponsors, a number of sponsors that are working with the teams as well as the competition itself, for them to be building their own skills on the court, to have this opportunity for these players to be working with the Firebirds players while the World Cup break is happening, where they get to learn what it's like in that Firebirds training environment and to play alongside often their idols.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think the competition will continue to grow in that respect.
Yeah.
It's great that we have our Northern Rays and that those players are also getting the opportunity to be playing against the southern parts of Queensland.
And I guess we're at an advantage but disadvantage with obviously Queensland being so big. We have obviously extended group that we can pick from with obviously the Suncorp Super Netball teams in obviously the Firebirds as well as the Sunny Coast Lightning. But in that way we do have a disadvantage as how much obviously time and effort it puts into travel, I guess.
Absolutely. And for me, part of that process, you know, when you're looking at the gameplay as the Ipswich Jets are pushing the scoreline out 37-19 at this point in time, that when you watch the game, whether we're watching the under-12s that I was at this morning, whether we're watching Sapphire HART Series or SSN, the similarities within games is there. For those games that are working well, it's about the timing and the movement and the placement and being able to convert more often off the balls that you have. And for those teams where it's not quite working, how do they get in front and be ball side more often? How do they make it easier for themselves to be able to counteract what their opponents are doing at that point in time? And for the Northern Rays, it'd be, you know, the Jets are pushing them a little bit to be on the non-ball side, making them push their passes just past what would be normally the target. And it's that challenge of how do you step up? And again, you know, that ball coming into the pocket, that's something that keepers, we want their eyes up so that they are able to eat those balls up. As the Northern Rays, it's like, okay guys, we've already got people in those spaces, there's lots of defenders there in between. Where would it be a better option to put that pass? So how do we teach our players to continue to be resilient if it's not working and to have another option?
Yeah, not always have a bigger goal in mind. So obviously the Northern Rays are not playing as, I guess, they would hope. So having a smaller goal and maybe getting that conversion, that centre pass conversion rate up a little bit. Maybe obviously having 2 drivers to the ball, just like smaller goals where obviously Jets will want to push out their percentage and win every quarter to get that quarter breakdown as well. So it's really, changing up your goals.
Absolutely.
And we have had another player come on in wing attack for the Northern Rays. I believe that is Taylor Crossley there. So congratulations to Taylor Crossley coming into the game. And great shot there.
So I've had the pleasure this morning of working with some of our teams under 12s from Billawheeler and from Moranbah. Had a great time working with their coaches and getting to know those players and the challenges that they face. You know, in some of those smaller areas where there's actually only 2 teams in the age group.
Yeah, yeah.
So for them to then come down to Nissan State age, where we have more than 250 teams, to face some of their city opponents, is definitely something they find challenging.
Yeah, and I guess obviously I played all my juniors up near Caboolture, so I guess we were classed as a city team. So I did take that as an advantage, I guess, and didn't really appreciate what we had as much as obviously the country girls do. We had a calibre of coaches as well as players to play against, so really took that as an advantage. But yeah, congratulations to all the country girls travelling and playing their best netball and trying their hardest.
Absolutely. And for them, it is definitely a learning experience. They're all having lots of fun. Great work from Kimmy J then to pick that ball up. Always a bit of a risk when the ball goes on the floor for that bounce pass. You want it to be over not too much of a distance, and you want the ball to be moving at pace.
Quite speedy. Yeah, state age was one of my favourite competitions that I remember when I was a bit younger. Getting the bus there and obviously staying with all the whole association in one place. I believe it's at Pine Rivers this year. Is that correct, Toppy?
It is.
Yeah.
So there's lots of games happening at Pine Rivers for anyone that wants to go and see all of our up-and-coming young netballers from around the state. While it is a little muddy underfoot, everyone's still having a great time. There's lots of fantastic netball happening, lots of fantastic food and drink on offer.
Yeah, and I believe some of the Sapphire Series teams are heading down to state age and getting out and about. So if you want to obviously get a photo with your favourite Sapphire League players, make sure you obviously hashtag Sapphire Series. Having some rolling subs here at the end of the third quarter. Getting some fresh legs back on. It's getting a little bit more scrappy, unfortunately, while we've had a chat about state age. Oh, great rebounds there by the goal attack Dumpy. She'll look to put through this ball, and she does. Bit of a break there by the wing attack in Crossley, unfortunately.
Again, it's that challenge when you're behind and you're working really hard and your heart rate's high.
Yeah.
To work on some of those simple things. Great hands over in defence from Lucy.
And sometimes you try a little bit too hard, I guess, and things don't go your way. So really this trying to settle into the game still.
Lucy did spend some time when she was in one of our previous competitions into Tier 2 as a defence before she made the final move back into shooting.
There you go. I didn't know that. Now she's a princess shooter now. Wearing her tiara down the other end with her pink shoes.
Yes, I'm not sure that Lucy necessarily sees herself with a tiara on.
All shooters do.
Given you were a shooter, Dom.
That's why I can say it.
Before you made the move into the mid-court.
I got too short, that's why. Everyone went over 6 foot and I just stayed tiny.
Our shooters do an amazing job given the amount of pressure that they're under.
Oh, well done, Siobhan there. Just stuck up her hand at the right time and got that intercept. So she's still working hard down the other end. Here's that ball.
Cheers.
There you go. Read the ball well there.
Northern Rays have been wanting to make use of this opportunity. Steph O'Brien being very cheeky with her arm around the body. The umpire deeming that she did that cleanly.
So with 40 seconds to go, Jets have got out to a convincing lead, 45 to the Rays 21.
Keely Hosh, since she's come into centre, has played a really even game up and down the court.
She's quite a tall centre.
Yes.
Being a mid-court.
It does have its advantages. She's also very quick with her movements. Does quite well, I feel, at being able to provide that link, knowing when to cut into the play and when to stay out and let the other players bring the ball down the court.
Yeah, Jets will want to just throw this ball in to get the last say in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Baker goes for the 3 and misses it. Oh. And replaying that play.
The umpire hadn't quite called time back on at that point in time. So, in a strong quarter from the Ipswich Jets, the scoreline going into three-quarter time, Ipswich Jets netball 46 and the Northern Rays at 21. We'll take a quick break and be back with you for the fourth quarter. Welcome back to the fourth quarter in this HART Sapphire Series match between the Ipswich Jets netball and Northern Rays teams. As we go into the fourth quarter, the Jets are leading 46-21, and that first quarter was quite close, 15-11. The Jets have won the next two as well, so they're sitting pretty with their bonus points so far, and we'll be looking to continue with that.
Yeah,
the Northern Rays will be wanting to try and at least take 1 point away from this game.
They will, yeah. And obviously looking at that third quarter, the Jets ran away 16-3. So obviously all coaches like saying that the third quarter is the championship quarter. So definitely Ipswich did a favour with their coach Tracy Jeans-Fraser in winning that 16-3.
Northern Rays with a positive start to this fourth quarter, being able to score that first goal, which the Jets have now matched. So looking for the Northern Rays to be able to play at a pace that they feel more comfortable with in attack, to find more space and to be ball side more often with what they're doing. And that was great timing. Good pop from the goal attack. Fantastic timing over the ball from Ashlyn Garrett, who's come back into goalkeeper.
Oh. Bit of a run there by Leah Woolnoll.
It is that challenge sometimes for Leah. She's coming so hard through the centre court. Unless that next passer is ready to take the ball, often just the challenge to have that control to be able to stop. Leah has moved into goal defence. Nikili Hosh moving back into wing defence. So lots of very long arms around that defensive circle at the moment for the Ipswich Jets. Brooke Hams has moved back into centre with Steph O'Brien into wing attack. And their shooting circle has stayed the same with Lucy Benjamin at goal shooter and Rosie Baker at goal attack. Lucy's had the volume of shots throughout this game.
Yeah, and that's what you want, a tall shooter in Lucy, obviously taking the majority of shots, letting the goal attack to move around. And obviously Steph O'Brien and Brooke Hams have been playing together for quite a while, and they play quite well together. They balance out the court with obviously Toppin pocket of the goal circle. Great movement by the Northern Rays shooters. Oh, great shot over the tall arms of Ashlyn Garrett there.
The Rays have been more controlled with bringing the ball down the court in the beginning of this quarter, which is fantastic to see. And just forcing that turnover there, so wanting them to be able to bring it down slowly.
So could have said it a little bit faster, Toppy.
Perhaps they haven't got my earpiece in,
no.
only yours.
Yeah, we'll have to work on that next week, hey?
Sounds like it.
They'll probably turn it off anyway if they hear my voice in their ear.
I do have a number of the coaches that we've been working with around the state who suggest that they can hear the things that I say to them with feedback, which I'm not always sure is a good thing. As long as they're hearing the positives that I give them.
That's it. That's
fantastic. Northern Rays doing really well in the beginning of this quarter. Scoreline sitting at 51-24 at the moment. This quarter is pretty even.
Quite even, yeah. Dribbles in there by Lucy Benjamin.
She doesn't have a habit of that ball hitting the front of the ring.
Yeah, quite a flat shot, obviously from Lucy, but generally, yeah, rolls in with a bit of an oomph from her.
Great vision for that long ball to go into the shooter. Seeing that the player was out of position.
While we have a little bit of a break, we might plug some of the sponsors. So obviously shout out to the major sponsor of the Sapphire Series in HART Sport. They're their official naming rights partner, obviously, of the series.
They have fantastic equipment for all sports, including netball. Certainly, I find it very challenging to my wallet when I get to go to HART Sport. I have a lot of fantastic equipment that I use in my coaching.
At the warehouse there at Aspley?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh.
A little bit of a body tangle. No call from the umpire.
Play on.
I think they both tangled it with one another.
Yeah, they probably just wanted a break, take a seat, couple of breaths. Great shot there by Baker. Yeah, I remember as a young girl, my obviously parents were quite involved in netball, and we got to go down to HART Sports warehouse, and my eyes lit up like it was like a playground. It was great.
And you get the opportunity to try a lot of the equipment out while you're there in the warehouse.
Yeah.
You can also order online and go and pick up. I have done that as well, and they will also deliver.
Oh, there you go. No need to leave your couch.
Again, very dangerous for those that like to online shop.
Exactly right.
My eyes usually light up when I see the new catalogue.
Yep. And then close your eyes when you see the price.
No, price-wise it's really good.
Oh, really? There you go.
My challenge is always how many things I want compared to my budget.
Yeah.
And I usually...
Want and need is two separate things, Toppy. You've got to remember that. I was taught that quite as a young girl.
Yes. But when I want more equipment that I can work with my players, then I'm usually more than willing to push my budget.
Yeah.
And it's a great thing.
Tracy Jeans Fraser was a big fan of the cones.
Yes.
She used to, love putting cones out, and once she saw the cones, you knew you were in for the hell of the training session. Your feet were on fire, your lungs were on fire. Oh.
Lots of great fitness work from the sounds of it, Dom.
Yes. And another player goes down in that circle.
It's like we've got a rolling sub happening there in the background with Leah Woolnough from Ipswich Jets going to the bench and Laura Clemisha coming out at goal defence. And the Northern Rays taking tactical time out. So yes, I would encourage everyone to head down to the HART Sport warehouse to check out all the fantastic equipment they have, or to check them out online. If you've got a copy of the paper catalogue, there's certainly plenty of corner pages turned over to come back to and order from. They're doing a fantastic job as sponsors of this amazing league.
And you see a lot of girls obviously wearing Mizuno netball shoes as well, so they're obviously the official footwear partner of the HART Sports Series. So I know a couple of girls from the Ipswich Jets are wearing theirs. Very comfortable shoes, I must add. I did play in Mizuno's last year and found them very comfortable. Very durable as well. And then we obviously have Legassic Jewelers as the major partner, as well as the official jeweller of the HART Sapphire series.
Yeah, Legassic have crafted the Katie Walker Sapphire, which is for the MVP of the league. It's something that is very special, and for the person that earns that particular prize at the end of the season, I think they'll be very, very happy.
Yeah, and obviously Katie Walker, and being obviously the name behind that, is very deserving. She's obviously been in the state league arena for many, many years. I won't say how many, because I'll probably get a clip over the ears when she sees me next.
I'm not sure that Katie remembers how many years, but
probably not.
Given that I remember when Katie was playing for the Hunter Jags in one of the previous National League competitions.
Oh, well done, Rosie Baker there. Tried to steal the ball.
Playing for the Firebirds as part of her playing history, as well as playing in the Queensland competitions.
Yeah, and she's been around Tigers land for many, many years. I remember obviously coming into Div 1 arena, and she was very intimidating. She can talk on call, that's for sure. She will whisper everything in your ear.
Katie works extremely hard on her own fitness. She works extremely hard on her netball skills.
Yeah, I believe she owns her own personal training business as well, so that's why she's so fit.
And along with that, she works extremely hard and on all of the team aspects of netball as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Very encouraging for the younger players. She sets a high standard and encourages everyone in reaching that standard along with her. Both teams just in this fourth quarter needing to settle and make good use of the ball.
That was a good screen there by the two shooters of the Northern Rays. Good rebounds by the goal attack.
So Ipswich Jets will be looking to exploit the fact that they've got a very, very tall backline at the moment between Aisling Garrett, Laura Clemesha and Michaela Kosh at wing defence. So the challenge for this defensive end, from my mind, is to stay and play as much as possible.
Yeah. Oh, well done, Aisling Garrett there.
Great front position to be able to affect that intercept.
Yeah, and the Northern Rays obviously just have to keep the ball nice and short and get to the front space instead of going over the tall arms of the two defenders.
So being able to use more of those prelims, a few dodges, maybe, you know, dragging them up to the top of the circle and then dropping back into that space more often.
Yeah.
Using some low balls to come in.
I was just about to say a sneaky bounce pass would go very well against the tall defenders. Oh, just as Steph Bryan does that.
It's that challenge while, you know, the players do seem to be getting taller and taller. And again, having been at state age and looking at some of the 12-year-olds that are playing at the moment.
No goal there. Offensive contact by Lucy Benjamin. She's getting a little bit frustrated in there, unfortunately. Yeah, I must ask some of the 12 years what they're eating at home, because they do get taller each year, unfortunately.
Can be a good thing. For me, the balancing act then is, you know, yes, you've got a tall opponent. How do you use your strength to be able to counteract what they bring to the game?
Yeah.
How do you utilise, you know, your own speed or your own agility to be able to change direction more quickly?
Yeah. And that was good defence by the Northern Rays to force the hell ball.
The umpire just indicating that Aisling Garrett there, as she was attempting to do
pass
that.
Only, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, very smart there by the goal attack.
She is known for doing that, using the post which is quite within the rules. So Aisling Garrett just falling into the post as she was trying to keep balance, which was what the umpire called. And then, as you indicated, it was a pass only. So given that Prinny was finding it difficult to find a connecting player on her own team, she utilised the post to set herself up. Shooters can use the post from that throw-in as well, and we have seen it a couple of times at SSN level.
Yeah, some of the smarter goal shooters use the post to their advantage, adding to another player to their, obviously, team.
Maui Kumwenda I've seen doing a number of times for the Vixens in previous seasons, and then saw Peace Praskovia do it for the Lightning early in the year, where she was actually quite deep in the circle and used the post to gain better position.
Yeah, on the edge of the circle, just took one giant leap.
She did.
For mankind. Threw the ball against the post and collected it and then shot the goal. Oh,
great double defense from those guys.
Nearly came away with the intercept there.
And again, that's something that I feel we've been seeing more at SSN level as well, where the first person will go potentially on 2 seconds and the second person will go on 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Quite intimidating for the shooter over the shot.
We'll have another look. Just off in the timing, just by a millisecond, I would say.
Yes.
We haven't seen the old chairlift at the moment. Is that illegal now, or?
My understanding it's still possible. And
Yeah.
it does take a lot of coordination to do it. And, you know, there's that debate around, yes, you might have an opportunity to get that ball. Only comes off very rarely. And so is there more benefit in actually staying on the ground and having good rebounding position?
Yeah, very true. It's entertaining for everyone else, though. Probably not for the coaches. So
And it's great to see some entertainment within the game
yes,
and people being creative.
I'm all for it. As we see, obviously Ipswich Jets has a ping pong bat there holding up the number 4. So I would imagine that is either 40 seconds or something to do with obviously the timeout there. Very creative there by the Ipswich Jets.
So Northern Rays will be looking to finish this quarter strongly.
And shout out to the Northern Rays coaching group. They've got the denim jackets on, very fashionable. They're obviously quite cold down in Brisbane weather, being from up north.
Absolutely.
Do you rock a bit of denim, Toppy? What about the double denim?
I do have a denim jacket that I love to wear.
We might have to get you to wear it to here, and we might have to put a photo up. Start a hashtag, hey?
Sure.
Double denim on Sundays. Create a bit of a buzz around.
Smart pass between the shooters from the Northern Rays. Again, utilising the floor, which is always more of a challenge for the tall defences.
Yeah. Off balance there by Brookhams. Great intercept by the Northern Rays.
And the Northern Rays really had done a great job of clogging up all that middle space. Great cut through the middle from the centre and good delivery.
While Ashley Garrett was looking at her feet, the ball just went over the top of her head. Here we go.
Beautiful
There's a
timing.
Nice cut by the centre.
Wing attack spotting her centre on the drive as she turned and started to look towards the post and able to deliver a great pass. Just fantastic. It'll be interesting to see how this last quarter is going for the bonus point.
Yeah, I think Northern Rays are up there.
Because they've done quite a good job in this final quarter.
Just under a minute to go. Well done, Steph O'Brien. Oh, great pass there by Brookhams into
Rosie Baker on the drive along the baseline. So the Jets are currently leading the match 61-33 with less than 30 seconds to go. Northern Rays will be trying to get every goal that they can in these final seconds and to push really hard for that bonus point.
Shove another shot. Goal shooter, well done.
Your thoughts on the game overall, Dom?
Look, obviously we were talking about it in the break. It's going to be hard for Northern Rays to get their momentum going. Just being obviously the younger, less experienced team of the competition, but it's been quite good with the, I guess, competitiveness of both teams. No team kind of took their foot off the accelerator, so that's a plus I see, I guess.
And a great finish to that game with the Ipswich Jets netball running out winners 62 to the Northern Rays 34. It's been an entertaining match. There were some great passages of play from both teams. The Northern Rays looking for more consistency as they continue throughout this campaign. With some great timing, good movement and good defensive pressure from the Jets. They'll also be looking to utilise that ball more effectively in future games.
Yeah, and looking to the quarter breakdown, I think the Northern Rays just went down by 2 in that last quarter, unfortunately. So Jets has come away with the win as well as the 4 extra bonus points. So congratulations to the Ipswich Jets.
We'd like to thank our sponsors for the HART Sapphire series: HART Sports, Legassic Jewelers, Mizuno Footwear, Mount Franklin, Powerade and Victor Sports. It's been a pleasure to be with you this afternoon for this match. Thank you, Dom.
Thank you, Toppy. We'll be back with the Bond University Bull Sharks versus the Carina Leagues Club Tigers at 3:20.
We look forward to seeing you then. If you'd like to come down to Queensland State Netball Centre and join us for those games, please feel free to do so. We'd love to see you all here. Thank you. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Queensland Sapphire Series match between the Bond University Bullsharks and the Carina Leagues Club Tigers. My name's Karen Top and I'm with you for the afternoon, and along with me is Dominic Day. Welcome, Dom.
Thank you, Toppy.
It's great to be here for the second game being played at Queensland State Netball Centre this afternoon for the Queensland Sapphire Series.
They're stuck with us again, unfortunately.
I think it's a great opportunity for us to add more information for the game that's happening. So just going through the competition ladder at the moment, the Ipswich Jets just finishing playing a game against the Northern Rays. Jets running out winners in that particular match, which takes them to the top of the ladder, putting them on 36 points. Followed by the QE2 Wildcats, Brisbane North Cougars, USC Thunder, Carina Leagues Club Tigers, Bond University Bullsharks and the Northern Rays. This will be an interesting match between Carina Leagues Club Tigers and Bullsharks, who are sitting close together on the ladder at the moment, although the Bond Sharks are a little behind with the number of games they've played so far.
Yeah, as we go through the Bond University Bullsharks, so starting in at goal shooter is Olivia Dykstra. Goal attack is Leah Pugh. Riley Burns is wing attack, and she's also 17 years old, so congratulations to her getting a start. Centre is Jada Gaffer. Wing defence is Kristen Oxenford and captain. Goal defence is Jonte Stridham. Goalkeeper is Shanae Grant, and on the bench is Abigail Houston. Sub Peter Coles and Casey Collins, as well as coach Cheryl Burns.
So great. A lot of younger players through the Bullsharks team. Be interested to see how they play against the experience of the Carina Leagues Club Tigers. Their team on court today, Carina Leagues Club Tigers, at goal shooter Amy Somerville. Goal attack is Alexia Baker. Wing attack Alana Schuster. Centre Katie Walker. Wing defence Claire Haig. Goal defence Lily Gribble. Goalkeeper Madison Cooley. With their substitutions, Leah Middleton, Shelley Rosenoff, Maddie Grant, Jasmine James, and their coach Tracy Bruce. Again, a lot of young players in that Carina Leagues Club Tigers, as well as their more experienced players like Katie Walker in the middle.
Yeah, looking through, obviously, the Tigers girls, a lot of those girls will have some experience, obviously, in this league, as well as A&L and Firebirds, Suncourt Super Netball. So Amy Somerville is obviously training partner for the Firebirds and has been called up into those Suncourt netball games.
So as the players are being called out on court, we'd like to take an opportunity to thank our sponsors for this competition: HART Sport, Legassic Jewelers, Mizuno Footwear, Mount Franklin, Powerade and Victor Sports. Without the sponsors, it's difficult to put on competition, so we really appreciate all the support that they give to our players and the competition itself.
And I believe the Tigers had a good win against the Thunder on Tuesday night, so they'll be looking to obviously come out and blow the Bullsharks away in the first quarter.
We saw in previous games that challenge of when the game first starts, teams being able to control those pre-game nerves, being able to connect effectively on the court and to transition the ball through court to score.
Yeah, and I think this game will be a lot more contested than the last game. Obviously, these two teams will go hard at it from the word go, with obviously Katie Walker being the general in there against a younger Jada Gaffer. Jada won't let her run around freely, that's for sure.
Katie Walker only knows one way, and that is hard when she's on the court.
Quick start to the Tigers through Katie Walker there.
Shanae Grant doing a lot of work to stay between the person with the ball and the shooter. Great creativity for Katie Walker to put that ball on the ground low. It's one of those things that we were suggesting in the previous game that Northern Rays potentially could have done a little more of.
Great movement by the Bullsharks here. And not enough on that ball to the goal shooter, the tall goal shooter.
So Olivia Dykstra was was involved with the under-19s campaign, and both Maddie Cooley and Lily Gribble were in state teams this year. So it'll be interesting to see the competition that happens at that end of the court.
Yeah, and it's really good to see that the young girls are having that opportunity to play this high level of netball week in and week out.
Getting to learn from those more experienced players on court, as well as to continue to develop their own skills, being able to do it consistently for longer periods of time.
Great pass in there by Leah Pugh.
Bull Sharks being quite patient with their build-up, just looking for Olivia there to be balanced and to take a moment after she was under pressure in the air to be able to then affect the shot.
I think the two players to watch with the most competitive nature out on court will be Jada Gaffer as well as Katie Walker, obviously both in pivotal positions in centres. They'll be running rings around each other, hopefully.
Katie with eyes to the ball there. Bull Sharks doing well to take that ball under pressure.
And unfortunately, they didn't capitalise on that advantage of Jada Gaffer getting the ball deep in their attacking third.
So our umpires for this game, Kimberly Foreman, Amber Lawrence, and our reserve umpire for this game is Rachel Thomas.
I believe Lexi Baker as well as Amy Somerville had a great game on Tuesday night, shot the house down, both of them. Against the obviously experienced Thunder, USC Thunder.
Tigers pushing the scoreline out 3-0 at the moment.
Great drive there.
Maddie Cooley wanting to come out and challenge that ball, just needing to adjust the distance in doing so.
Great shot there by Dykstra.
While Maddie may give away a little bit in height to Olivia Dykstra, she has an incredible vertical leap and really long arms. So when she's got her hands over ball, she's very difficult to get around, and also works extremely well on the jump over the shot, and usually manages a few tips throughout the game.
She's probably one of those players that you don't expect them to get the ball or get a tip to the ball, and she just comes out of nowhere. See some of the association girls sitting up the end of the court. I believe that would be Metro, obviously supporting their local team in the Tigers.
Yes, a number of the teams that are at the 2019 Nissan State Age Championships being held at Pine Rivers were saying that they were going to come out and support their Sapphire Series teams this afternoon. They were looking forward to the opportunity to be here. They've been doing lots of cheering while they've been at state champs, and I'm sure they'll bring their voice with them today.
Yeah, and there's a lot of obviously support in this crowd as well. Great tip there by Stratum. Tigers always bring a crowd, no matter the occasion. If it's just a round game or a grand final match, they always seem to obviously have some support in the crowd.
Bull Sharks forcing a turnover there. And moving the ball quickly down court.
Yeah, I think the major thing for Bull Sharks is Kristen Oxenford. Her attacking play is probably the best of the competition. She understands that she has to get a nice deep ball for her attackers to obviously penetrate, and she does that very, very well.
Good vision into the circle, just placement of the pass, making it a little bit challenging.
Great cut there by Katie Walker, encouraging her shooter to take that front space. Amy will have a crack at this shot. Bounces short, but has another go at it with the throw-in to Lexi Baker. Great position of that ball from Katie Walker. Obviously out on the outstretched arm of Amy Somerville. Tigers will want to go 2 up in this little passage of play. Got the turnover percentage. Great movement there by the Tigers. And an air ball by Lexi Baker. Has a bit of a scratch of the shoulders to make sure they're warmed up. She'll settle into this game, no doubt.
So the challenge for the Tigers shooters at the moment is they're on the same leads at the same time. It's that challenge of being able to figure out which shooter's holding, which one's moving, or is it a moving circle, and so who's rotating so that the circle is quite balanced and that it gives those feeders on the circle edge an option to pass to.
Yeah, and I'm really liking how obviously the umpires are officiating this game. Letting go a lot of contested ball is what you want to see. You don't want to hear the whistle go off every minute of every, I guess, quarter. Bull Sharks making easy work of this ball down the court, and great cut there by Burns. For a young player, she's playing quite well on Claire Haig. Claire's an experienced player. She's played this level of netball for quite a number of years. Oh, well done, Shanae Grant. Unfortunate.
Claire also came through the underage system, played for a number of years through the 17s, 19s and 21s when it was still happening.
Yeah. And a lot of these girls on court would have come through the underage levels.
Quite an even game at this stage with the Tigers 6 and the Bull Sharks 5. Great hold from Olivia Dykstra there, and good placement of that pass coming in.
She's quite an unorthodox player as well. She's probably, I would imagine, come from a basketball background, just the way she shoots. She's quite a strong body as well, so they'll look to obviously feed into her quite quickly.
I have a feeling that Olivia's potentially not been playing netball for a long time.
Yeah.
And is still learning the game.
Yeah. And that'll take her a couple of seasons to kind of, I guess, work with the mid-court as well as her goal attack to figure out the ins and outs of netball. Might look easy to play, but definitely isn't.
And we were mentioning in that earlier game the challenge that our taller players have around finding their coordination, finding the strength in their body for the holds that they need. When's the timing of the movement, and particularly for those players that may not have been in the game for as long, that comes with experience.
Just another offensive call there against Amy Somerville.
Looked like the umpire was suggesting that Amy was backing into the defence, that the defence had set up a good position.
Great front cut there by Leah Pugh. Great finish off with the pass into her tool shooter.
And using that with the give and go as well, being able to give it back to one of her players and then take the drive herself.
Tigers are looking to work the ball around the circle.
It's interesting, the Tigers shooters, they're not quite hearing what Katie Walker's saying to them, either by her body language or her voice, that they're getting a little close to where she is with the ball.
I think Katie Walker kind of encourages the umpire to hear what she says more than her players that they do.
It's interesting, I was reading her body language more than anything, and you can see that she's using her body to suggest that they need to have a little bit more space in that.
Yeah, rearrange the circle a little bit.
Scoreline's continuing to stay close.
Well
Tigers
done,
8, Bull Sharks 8 as Bull Sharks goal defence Stridham gets that intercept.
Oh, great rebounds there.
Both players look to be going up quite straight with their bodies, so the umpire determining that was a good contest. Bull Sharks sneaking ahead for the first time in this match, 9-8, with just over 3 and a bit minutes to go in the first quarter.
I think the lead's going to change multiple times through this game, Toppy. Just obviously the contested ball of both teams. Great drive there by Schuster. And Lexi Baker finishes it off.
Tigers shooters utilising the circle a little more effectively that time down, and Lexi being able to create some space.
There's that tip of Maddie Cooley there.
She had great front position, timed the jump up well, went with the one hand and was able to get it eventually to a teammate, which was fantastic.
I hear she's a big personality off court as well as on court.
She is. She's also a lovely, lovely young lady. I had the pleasure of coaching her for 12 months.
Yeah. She brings a little bit of, I guess, a light atmosphere to the team with her jokes as well as her, I guess, personality throughout the team, throughout the competition. Well done there by Jada Gaffer. Gets a bit of a tip.
Katie Walker saw an opportunity. Pass didn't quite come off on that time. Probably 9 out of times I'd suggest that Katie Walker makes that pass.
She certainly does. See something there that's obviously just about to happen, but she seems to see it in slow motion almost. Well, here's a call, but player's not there, unfortunately.
Is that challenge at the moment that they probably need Lily Gribble in goal defence to drive a little harder through the midcourt at the moment?
Yeah.
And for both those players to, Lily and Claire Haig at wing defence, to be ball side when they're making those drives so that Katie has someone available.
Both teams are just making uncharacteristic little errors in their game, so hopefully they'll sort them out and iron them out before the end of the quarter with 1.5 minutes to go. Great feed in there by Katie Walker to Amy Somerville.
Katie likes to play fast to catch the defenders a little on the back foot as often as she can.
And obviously Jada Gaffer's come from Brisbane North Cougars last year, so she's didn't have a lot of opportunity last year, so she's gone down to her home team in the Bull Sharks to obviously get a starting role in centre there.
Jada was one of those players that was in the under-19 state team this year as well. Played a lot of wing attack through that competition.
And she was also obviously in the A&L Fusion team as well. Great shot there by Dyker. Well done, Kristen Oxenford. Rode the body well and came out on the intercept from the centre pass. We'll have that look again. There we go.
Stayed in front of the player, nice and straight as she was going up for that ball. And
is that a goal or no goal?
It was a penalty, so
indicate that it was. Oh, no goal, there we are. She's got to make her hand gestures a little bit bigger for us to see up here. So we go into the quarter break, all tied up at 12 all between the Bond University Bull Sharks as well as the Carina Leagues Club Tigers. stay with us. We'll bring you the second quarter right after the break.
Welcome back to the HART Queensland Sapphire Series match between the Bull Sharks and the Carina Leagues Club's Tigers. As we head into the second quarter, the scores are tied at the moment at 12-all. It'll be interesting to see what the coaches have spoken to their players about in that break and how this game changes as they move into the next quarter.
We've had a few changes on court. So Peter Coles comes in at wing defence. Kristen Oxenford is gone into centre. And I believe the Tigers have stayed almost exactly the same. I think they are exactly the same. So Peter brings another dynamic to that defensive end. She's quite short, but once again, she does have a great vertical leap on her. Her hands over is very impressive. Lexi Baker goes for the early shot. Unfortunately doesn't get it, but it should be Tigers throw in.
So it does look like the Tigers players have changed up what they're doing in that circle at the moment.
Right on cue, Peter Coles comes through with the early intercept or early tip. So 2 early misses for both Tigers shooters there, unfortunately. Bond University Bull Sharks will look to convert this turnover. Great pass in there by Kristen Oxenford. Unfortunately, Dykstra can't pull in the goods.
It is that challenge for feeders as they're working with tall players who are still learning their craft about what can they take under pressure.
Yeah.
And certainly as a coach, continue to encourage feeders to get onto the circle edge as much as possible to feed that tall shooter
Yeah.
to make it an easier ball to pull in.
Yeah, and Kristen would obviously feel how a shooter is going. If she does find that she can put the ball in nice and early to a holding shooter, she might obviously like that. Just feed it to her taller shooter in Leah Pugh coming around the front space there.
So that was a great body positioning then from Olivia, where she was able to get the defender on her back, create that space in front of her, and the ball just popped in for the easy pass on the goal.
Yeah. Bit of a contact in there, nice and close onto the post, and Amy converts that goal there. Great effort there by Claire Haig. Great shuffle shot by Leah Pugh. She'll have a crack. Unfortunately doesn't get it. Oh, but Kristen was going to have a crack at that intercept there. Unfortunately not. Pete has a bit of a pyramid over, obviously, Katie Walker there. Lexi Baker will step in, have a crack at this shot. They're going to pull it back and not set the penalty. There we are.
So the umpire just indicating that Shanae Grant stepped in after Lexi had stepped forward.
Katie's just going to do it herself, wipe up the sweat from probably her huge biceps.
You usually can tell that Katie has been working hard when she's out on court, so anytime she ends up on the ground.
I reckon she puts oil on herself before the game anyway to pop out her muscles. And we're off again.
I think she'll tell you, Dom, that she just
works hard.
while she's on the
I'm
court.
sure. Great pass in there by Schuster.
And I hope you've already been to the gym when you tell Katie that.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Yep. I curl about 100 kilos, Toppy. You should know that. Unfortunately, Stradham just goes offside there. Couldn't balance herself. And a bit of a confusion down this end of the court. Peter Cole's out of play. Great hold there by Amy.
The umpire's working hard to enforce the discipline on players around what are they contesting, when are they contacting, getting them to clean up the movement of their bodies.
Yeah, and sometimes it is hard to understand the umpire when they call something, so you have to obviously slow down the play and get the right position of the penalty set. Because they obviously brought in that rule that you can play on straight away. You don't have to have the player out of play to play on.
That pass falling to Katie Walker, it wasn't necessarily intended for her originally.
Oh, well done, Stradham. Great effort.
So the Bull Sharks have done a fantastic job in defence of clogging up all of that inside space, forcing the high ball for the goal defence to be able to have a go at it. Just not quite timing it on that occasion, but I think they'd be really happy with how that particular play went.
Here's that another effort from Stradham there. And Shanae Grant just falls over. Amy Somerville in the circle. Great pick up by Petey Coles. And another great effort by Maddie Cooley there with the elevation.
Tigers more effective in reading off one another and coming down the court on that occasion, although that pass not quite where they wanted it to be.
Yeah, and just in that instance, both the attackers of Tigers in Katie Walker as well as Schuster were off the circle's edge. That one needs to be on and one needs to be off, and rotate the edge there. Great pass in there by Katie Walker. Unfortunately, Amy couldn't balance, but gets her own rebound off Sinead Grant. Tries to wipe her sweat off her fingertips before she has this shot at goal. And it does the trick.
Amy has such height on her shot.
Yeah. And that's where the upside down J comes into play. If any of the coaches obviously tell the young shooters to pretend that you're doing an upside down J, that's pretty much it right there. Or knock the Coke can off the circle or the goalpost edge. Well done there by Lily Gribble.
So a little misunderstanding between players there on that occasion. So Bull Sharks have been looking just to settle. They've had a fair amount of ball recently, just wanting to work it more effectively into their attacking end. Unfortunately, again, the timing just a little off.
Yes, Katie Walker, you ran with the ball, darling. She was too fast for her own feet. So Bull Sharks are making their way down to the attacking end. Well done, Kristen Oxenford, for a screen there on the circle's edge.
And just that difference when they can get onto the circle edge to then feed to Olivia Dykstra moving into the backspace.
And a tactical timeout to the Bull Sharks, I believe.
So the Korean Leagues Club's Tigers have just pushed the scoreline out by a couple at this point in time, leading 19-16 at the moment. So Bull Sharks feeling like that tactical timeout might help them reorganise what's happening. It's always interesting to watch the dynamics within the group while we can't hear their words. How do the coaches interact with their players? The amount of information they give.
I thought you were going to say you could read lips. Toppy, tell us what Cheryl Burns is talking about, hey?
I could guess, but quite often I could be incorrect. I'd be thinking that I'd be wanting to get them to have two leads to the ball more often at the moment, that we need to read off the person in front more effectively and to use that space to be able to transition the ball down court, be ball side more often as we're doing it, and to feed the shooter from the circle edge.
Yeah, and I
all
think
those basics that don't really change from under 12s through to SSM level.
I think we're having another swap, so Jada Gaffer will come back onto centre and Kristen Oxenford will go back to wing defence. I think they were getting a little bit caught in the mid-third there. They really need a penetrating player, and Kristen Oxenford obviously brings that element to the wing defence game.
And it was interesting, we also got a sneak peek that Amanda Kelly, the assistant coach for the Tigers, was just actually demonstrating to her defenders how she'd like them to position their bodies.
Yeah. And we've had another change in goal defence for the Bull Sharks. We'll have to try to find out this young player's name, because she's just added a stat to her name there with a turnover early in the game.
Potentially Abigail Houston, I'd suggest, who's come on for the Bull Sharks.
Stradham's gone off to the bench, and we have another offensive contact against Dykstra, unfortunately.
So Abigail Houston was under 17's captain, and unfortunately had a knee injury in the week prior to Nationals, so had to pull out at that point in time. It can see some strapping on her knee there as she's coming back.
Great shot there by Lexi Baker, gets her own rebounds. So Tigers take out a bit of a lead, 22 Bull Sharks 16 with 5.5 to go in the second quarter. Great feed in there by Burns. Just over the baseline there, unfortunately, for the Tigers.
It's that challenge as you're bringing the ball out, like that ball going from outside channel to outside channel, lifted for one of the opponents.
1,000 seconds.
One of the opponents, if they've got eyes to it, to see if they can get an intercept.
Well done, Claire Haig. Gives herself a bit of a slap. She really forced that ball over the side there. Katie Walker directing play with her body language once again, telling her players to come into the middle channel.
It's that opportunity, like Lily Gribble gave her that ball, and it would have been great to see Lily then take the drive down court, cutting across in front of the Bull Sharks player that was there, so that she had that strong drive down the middle and the other players could have cleared out and then re-entered a little further. Lily, again, is only quite young, one of our 17-year-olds, still learning her craft in that respect.
Great jump over the shot there by Gribble. Maddie Cooley's actually gone. Oh no, thought she might have gone out to goal defence there. But just set up a little bit higher. Great shot again by Amy Summerall.
There's a nice quick transition down court then from the Tigers. Able to score quite effectively because all those timing elements were working. Again, Bull Sharks just struggling at the moment to have those two leads to the ball.
Yeah.
Tigers are doing a really effective job in defence at the moment, pushing the Bull Sharks wide.
And all they have to do, like you were talking about before with the Tigers, Toppy, is pass and cut. Don't just pass and kind of hang back and expect someone else to do it, because it's not happening. Great feed in there by Schuster.
She did well to read that there were two players on that goal attack at the front, so there needed to be a free player.
Yeah. Looks like there's going to be a rolling sub again, with Abigail Houston possibly going off and Stridham coming back on. Seems like the players haven't got the right, I guess, click of the rolling subs just yet.
So in this quarter, Olivia Dystra looks to be holding a little higher in the circle, giving herself a little more room to drop into that backspace towards the post or the baseline, and is taking those passes more effectively by doing so. So it's great to see that she's been able to adjust her play. The Tigers have pushed this scoreline out to 24-19 at the moment. So the Bull Sharks will be looking to see what they can do to change that up.
Great movement there by Amy Somerville. Was egged on by Katie Walker, telling her to move back because she had no defender on her.
It can make such a difference when you're working with one another to use those spaces more effectively on the game.
Leah Pugh goes for a long shot and she nails it.
It was a really good drive from her around the top of the circle to be able to take that ball effectively.
Oh, great baseline drive by Lexi Baker.
They were looking to swing that ball quickly. Sinead Grant did a great job of getting her feet moving around the body of Amy Somerville to shut it down, forcing them to go back, reset, and
great
then
shot
come
there
again.
Bit of a swish from Amy Somerville. Jada Gaffer just takes her time in stepping into the centre circle. That was a quick 3 seconds there, unfortunately, to the Bull Sharks.
Good control from Lily Gribble then to be able to just settle for long enough until someone became available.
There's that drive from Kristen Oxenford.
Yeah, and as we spoke about, they seem to have more offers to the ball happening now, which is great.
Great pass in there by Jada Gaffer.
Hannah Cooley done quite a good job to still stay in front. So Olivia just had that little bit of extra height and was able to get to the ball first.
With a tall shooter in Dykstra, what would you suggest telling your defenders, Toppy? Would you want them in front and forcing the shooter back towards the baseline, or would you want them behind her and pushing her up closer to the passer?
In this situation, I'd be wanting to try and force the Bull Sharks feeders to feed from further off the circle and to put it over the top of her head, because the placement has not been probably as effective as we would like consistently, and then just to put that little bit pressure on the actual take of the ball.
Yeah.
So that would change depending on the shooter that you have in there. There are times when absolutely you want to push them much higher in the circle.
Yeah.
And keep them away from the post. So strong quarter by the Tigers, pushing the scoreline out 26-21 against the Bond University Bull Sharks in this game as we go into halftime. It'll be interesting to see what the coaches are saying to their players and how both teams come out for the third quarter. But the Korean League's Club Tigers taking the points for the second quarter. We'll look forward to seeing you here at the Queensland State Netball Centre for the Queensland Sapphire Series, sponsored by HART Sport, after the break. Welcome back to the HART Queensland Sapphire Series here at Queensland State Netball Centre. This afternoon's match, we're leading into the second half between the Bond University Bull Sharks and the Carina Leagues Clubs Tigers. In the second quarter, Tigers winning that by 5. The first quarter was even, so we have the Tigers leading 26-21.
And we just saw some stats up on the screen there, so you can see how close the game was. Obviously, Tigers getting a little bit over the Bull Sharks in the second quarter, so that's where you see the percentage of their conversions up a little bit rather than the Bull Sharks there. But we're in for a cracker second half, that's for sure.
It was really good, that camera angle that was showing us how the Tigers were looking to use their space effectively. Katie Walker backing out of it, clearing the space to allow Schuster to drive across the top of the circle, and then Alexi dropping back. Unfortunately, not quite able to finish it off on that occasion.
Great pull in there by Dykstra.
So the Bull Sharks will be happy that they've scored a couple of goals early here in this third quarter.
And we've had another swap in centre in Burns, taking on Katie Walker. So that's credit to Katie Walker. She's had 3 different centres in this first half of this game. So obviously credit to her for making the Bull Sharks having to change players around her.
Bull Sharks looking to how they find that timing and combination that they need to get onto their circle edge effectively. Riley has speed to burn at centre. And nice cut across the top of the circle there to find space for that pass, and feeding into Olivia Dykstra, who was on the front hold on that occasion.
And that was a great shot by her there. All the confidence in the world to let the ball go. Oh, great roll there by Amy Somerville, as well as Schuster there to let the ball go over Sinead Grant.
Nice deception by Amy, just doing enough with the ball to make it look like that she was going to shoot, passing it off. Lexi not quite able to complete on this occasion, so the Bull Sharks have got another opportunity to draw this scoreline closer.
That's great attacking play by the Bull Sharks to get the ball down in effectively three passes there. Oh, she was off court. Great call there by the umpire.
Drive itself was fantastic, just needed to touch her foot down before she touched the ball because she'd come from an out-of-court area.
Yeah. A little bit of a rush of decision-making there, so obviously Schuster thought Lexi Baker was making that long drive where she really needed to settle down.
So both teams just needing to take a breath.
Oh, well done, Stridham there. Nearly takes Lexi with the ball out of the court. Amy looks to obviously further gain some space closer to the post. She'll have a shot from here, I'm sure. Great shot. Swish again.
So Tigers just managing to stay ahead at the moment on the scoreboard overall, 28-25 against the Bull Sharks.
That was a great pass by Burns, but unfortunately Dykstra couldn't get her grip onto the ball, couldn't rein it in.
Tigers just needing to work on having those 2 leads to the ball at the moment and getting the timing. Great cut through the middle.
Well done, Sinead Grant. Got her fingertips to that intercept. Yeah, I think Tigers really need to work on their, I guess, ball out of the goal third. They really need to make that long drive away and then come back to the ball quite hard.
Beautiful shot from Amy Somerville to complete that. Just as they've started to settle, scoreline just pushing back out to 30-25 at the moment.
Yeah. I spy another player warming up on the Tigers bench as well as the Bull Sharks bench. So we have Leah Middleton holding onto a ball as behind the bench there, and we have Abigail Houston looking to jump on court as well.
Great work from Schuster there to just be able to turn her body in the air, be balanced enough to release that pass to Amy Somerville.
Oh, take a shot, Lexi. She's a bit low on confidence today, unfortunately. Had a couple of misses, but that's not to say that she shouldn't have a crack at it. Oh, well done, Stridham.
Her footwork around the players has been fantastic today, and she's been able to get her hands on lots of ball.
Yeah, she's quite a dynamic player, Stridham is. And there's the change. Shanae Grant goes to the bench, as well as Abigail Houston comes on. Nellie Kristen. Once again, that's over two corridors of the court. One side to the other. Tracy Bruce won't want that all too often in the game.
And again, we were talking about textbook earlier. Katie Walker using the fake pass particularly effectively there. Looking like she was going to pass to the top of the circle, and then keeping her eyes on Amy Somerville popping out on the baseline.
Tigers have just got on a roll here at the moment, so Bull Sharks will want to obviously halt that, I guess, play. Well done, Maddie Cooley, unfortunately over the baseline.
And again, just that challenge as a feeder, having a look in and seeing, yes, I've got a tall shooter in there, but they've also got two tall defenders.
Yeah.
That's going to be a tough pass to pull off.
Positional swap for Amy Somerville as well as Lexi Baker. Lexi goes onto the post and Amy comes out. Fortunately can't convert that one. That was a great setup by the Bull Sharks out of their defensive end from the baseline throw in. And great pass in by Burns to Dykstra.
So it's working more effectively for them when Olivia does start a little higher in the circle and has some space behind her to drop into.
Great drive there by Jada Gaffer. That's that pass and cut that we were speaking about before. And great pass in over for Burns. Dykstra's really come into the game, I believe, in the last probably 2 quarters. She's holding quite well. Like you said, she's holding a little bit earlier as well as higher to allow her passes that clear space in where she wants it. So the Bull Sharks have just come back at Tigers here. Well done.
That was beautiful timing. Great hold and position, and just popped out. She held her defence for long enough until the ball was already on the way that they weren't able to challenge it.
This is that pass in over.
Yep.
Just held up a little bit longer than normal to obviously allow that defender to kind of creep off and then Dykstra to pop out.
So we're in the halfway mark of this quarter. It's quite even. Actually, the Bull Sharks are ahead by 1 at the moment in the 3rd quarter. The overall score 34-30 at the moment. So both teams just looking for more consistency with what they're doing as they come down the court.
Yeah. I think they're just chipping away at it. Obviously, Tigers are a well-oiled machine at the best of times, so they're just going to keep on chipping away at it, until obviously the Bull Sharks fade away, but they're definitely not fading away just yet.
Riley Burns doing a great job with her movements where she's cutting away and then coming back towards the ball.
Yeah.
Using her speed effectively to find some space from Katie Walker. We know that if Katie's hard on your body in defence, that she's going to win a lot of those balls.
Well done, Amy Somerville. 4 passes, shuffle shot, and she gets that goal. Just was making space for herself. And here comes Leah Middleton onto the sub box for the Carina Leagues Club Tigers. This will be her first game of the season. I believe she was out injured for possibly the last game. Heavily right or left knee strap there. Here she is. So this is our old team in the Gold Coast region. She used to play for the, obviously, Gold Coast or Golden South Jags, I should say. And she's into the thick of things already.
So on that occasion, the umpiring indicating that Olivia Dykstra, just the shape of her body changed and that her arm came up as she moved away from the defence.
Oh, well done. Great pull in by Lexi Baker. Gives it off to Amy Somerville for a shot. I like to see shooters, if they do the hard yards and they get that contact to get for them, to really obviously stamp their authority and want to take that pass. So obviously Lexi kind of passed it off to Amy to have a shot, but I would like to see Lexi have that confidence in taking that shot herself.
Claire had done a great job on that centre pass of staying ball side, contesting, and being able to get that earlier turnover. Tigers have come up in possession again now. They'd like to be able to convert off those more often.
And with 3.5 to go, this is where the fitness comes into play. There's a few girls kind of walking a little bit, sucking in the big one. So this is where the hard yards of pre-season.
Tigers again just pushing the scoreline out a little, leading 38-32 at the moment. Fantastic footwork there from Amy to find her way into a space where she was able to hold a defender behind her, create some space for Lexi to drop that ball, and then take an effective shot.
I was about to say, Leah had her eyes wide open for that intercept. Came running in with the mitt out.
And was able to do it quite cleanly,
yeah,
which was fantastic.
Oh, well done. Abigail Houston there, read the ball well. Katie Walker was on one foot. Here's that intercept again by Abigail Houston.
Again, that lofted ball into the corner pocket that you want your defences to have their eyes up and to have a crack at.
It's quite stagnant down in the Bull Sharks attacking third at the moment. Everyone's waiting for someone else to do the hard yards.
So
quite hard to back up 2 games in 1 week, with obviously some of the girls playing on Tuesday night. Oh, great rebounds there by Lexi Baker. Tips it back into play for Amy Somerville to finish off.
Lexi's always been really good at being able to time that jump. She tends to be a little shorter than a lot of the defenders.
That's a hard fall by Claire Haig. Has a bit of a rest on the floor.
And Katie Walker using her experience there to just hold that ball up for a moment.
Once again, the skills have gone down a little bit, coming into the last 1.5 minutes ago. Like we keep on saying, that this is the time that fitness comes into play. So repetitive things at training will help, obviously, these skills be second nature. When your legs are burning, your lungs are burning.
Tigers is pushing the scoreline to 8 in front at this point in time. Fantastic work from Jonty Stridham to be able to take that intercept off the centre pass.
Oh, well done, Leah Middleton. Unlucky on Dykstra, sorry. Great fake again by Katie Walker.
Looked like Abigail Houston had got a hand to that ball as it was going up. Be interested to see whether she actually did get a little tip on it.
Stridham just causing contact at the last minute on Lexi Baker.
So with 20 seconds to go in this quarter, the Carina Leagues Club Tigers are leading 42 to 33. It's suggesting that they'll also win the third quarter bonus point. Kristen Oxenford realising that there wasn't much time.
Trying the Hail Mary.
Seeing if there was any way that they could get that ball into their circle.
She wanted to be on the stats for an assist.
Potentially. So some really strong work from the Carina Leagues Club Tigers there in the third quarter, winning that one 16 to 12, earning them their second bonus point of the match. We're looking forward to coming back for the final quarter and for this contest in the Queensland Sapphire Series, sponsored by HART, to be a great finish to the match. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back to the HART Sapphire Series match this afternoon, being played by the Bond University Bull Sharks and the Carina Leagues Club Tigers. We go into the fourth quarter with Carina Leagues Club Tigers leading 42 to 33. Are there any changes that we can see on court for the fourth quarter, Dom?
Doesn't look like it, Toppy. I think they've all settled in their positions quite well. Obviously, Shanae Grant comes back on at goalkeeper. And it looks like the Tigers have gone with the same lineup. So Leah Middleton has cemented a position at goal defence there. Madison Cooley still at goalkeeper. Katie Walker still at centre, and Claire Haig at wing defence.
So good start from the Bull Sharks there, with Olivia Dykstra taking that first goal of the fourth quarter.
That was a great pass in by Lexi Baker. Great bounce pass to Amy Somerville.
Jonty Stridham's certainly been making Lexi Baker work really hard to change up her body position to be able to get the pass.
Yeah, and she, I guess they're quite similar players in height as well as speed. That's a great intercept by Leah Middleton.
Fantastic front position.
Out on the outstretched arm. And great pickup by Katie Walker as well. She'll feed back to Claire Haig on the transverse line.
It's one of the things Katie Walker does particularly effectively. If the shooters come out to the edge of the circle, she's given them that ball. She follows it to provide another quick option.
Yeah, so if any of the obviously young up-and-coming mid-courts want to see a pass and cut done extremely well, have a look at Katie Walker. She'll hang back. She'll she'll get the defender thinking that she's just going to hang there, and then she'll make a nice hard cut onto the circle's edge. Great pass in there by Lexi Baker. Unfortunately, Shanae Grant just tips it away. The pace has really dropped off since the first quarter, Toppy. Obviously, both teams have been going at it for 45 minutes, so the speed of the play and everything like that will drop down. Great shot there.
And this is also where you're looking for what are the decisions that are made when they're fatigued.
Yeah.
And to train for that element as well. In your training sessions, what are you actually doing that has the players looking to make decisions when they're under fatigue, so that when they get into similar situation in the game, they have some strategies available.
And what we did at Cougars, I don't want to obviously tell all their secrets or anything like that, because I'm sure Liz White is listening and she'll clip me over the ears as well. But we used to do our fitness session, obviously do a set of conditioning and then would have to do bull work afterwards. Even though it hurt like hell during it, I would suggest that that is why I think were one of the better teams at obviously completing our sets, because we were fatigued and we were able to convert under fatigue as well. Oh, offside there by Claire Haig, tries to run away.
So that challenge of Riley just dropping into the pocket as opposed to coming forward towards the ball.
Yeah. Great shot there by Leah Pugh.
Again, it's that challenge in watching our players in those younger age groups at state age, where it's more predominant wanting to run away from and drop into the corners, which, as we've spoken about and we saw in the earlier game, when the keepers have got their eyes up, those are the balls that they like to say thank you very much.
They will eat you alive. That's where we get the ponytail being cut off, because they literally swipe at your head and they don't care if you're there or you're not there. I'll have a crack.
So it looks like Kristen Oxenford's moved back into the centre.
Yeah, she
with Peter Coles on at wing defence for the Bond University Bull Sharks.
Rolling subs there. Bit of a miscommunication once again with the attackers. Well done to that ball girl there. That was a great pass to Shanae Grant. And shout out to all the 4 ball girls out on court today. They're obviously from possibly an association local around here. It's a bit of a layup there by Dykstra. Unfortunately couldn't come off. But Leah Pugh will have another shot and unfortunately goes right over the post.
So Bond University Bull Sharks were anticipating that they would get the services of Siggy Berger, who's from South Africa, had been playing in the English League. It was expected she was going to arrive here this week to play with Bond Sharks, with the Bull Sharks, and then she's just been called into the South African national team due to an injury to another one of their players.
Yeah.
So unfortunately she won't be arriving in the short term, probably not until after the World Cup is completed, I'd suggest. That was a great cut from
front cut by Jada Gaffer there. Yeah, and that'll be a good element, or a strong element to the Bond University Bull Sharks team, to having that tall, strong, experienced goal shooter when she comes back. Bull Sharks are just trying to work around. Jada Gaffer's just caught in the pocket of the court. Oh. And I believe Jackie Russell was going to play this game for the Carina Tigers, but unfortunately a late withdrawal due to injury, I believe.
Scoreline at the moment, Carina Leagues Club Tigers on 48, Bull Sharks on 40.
Oh, that's another quick 3 seconds there. But great defensive effort from the Tigers. Great vision there by Schuster. Great roll. Oh, Lexi Baker, great roll there. Wanted the ball a little bit earlier, but eventually got it. Oh, well done, Peter Cole. Steals it away from Katie Walker there and runs away. Bull Sharks have the advantage. Great pass. Oh.
She was able to do that because she kept her feet moving. She was light on her feet. She went with the outside arm.
Have another look at it.
Yep,
oh,
absolutely outside arm. Again, one of those textbook moves that you want your defenders to be doing to gain possession.
And you don't wait for the call, you just run away and hope for the best.
The umpire will call it back if they've seen an infringement.
Peter's starting to get into this game. 7 minutes ago, Tigers are leading the Bull Sharks 48-41. That was a hopeful pass there. Sinead Grant out of play. Amy Somerville goes for the shot and converts.
So just over 6 minutes left to go. Bull Sharks need to score a few in a row here at this point in time in the game.
Oh, great.
To still have an opportunity to win.
There.
Yeah. Set up because Olivia was able to get that really strong front position, hold Maddie Cooley, goalkeeper, behind her.
Well done, Sinead Grant. That was a strong pull in by Schuster there. Sinead was looking for the intercept and unfortunately just stuck out one arm where Schuster went with 2. And speaking of Wardrobe Sunday, which I'm about to trying to start the hashtag, if we just look over to the Carina Leagues Club Tigers, the coaching staff, the 4 of them have some interesting patterns on their bench.
I'd suggest it's a tiger print.
Possibly, you never know.
It's
Being Tigers.
It's very in fashion at the moment, Dom.
What, the tiger print?
It is.
Yeah. I don't know if I could pull it off. Toppy, I reckon you could. You're almost in tiger print here.
Potentially. We did notice in the earlier game that the Northern Rays had their denim on. Their denim jackets that they were wearing, which was fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put it out to all the coaching staff. If we could get a wardrobe Sunday, Saturday, Tuesday, whatever you feel, if we could get it out and rolling, make a hashtag, send in your photos to hashtag Sapphire Series. That would be awesome.
Both teams again just in this final 5 minutes of the match wanting to take a little bit more time and care with possession of the ball to be able to convert more often. Kristen Oxenford, as with Katie Walker, just directing Leah that she had a bit more space behind her, that she could get a little closer to the post for that particular shot.
And I think we've had a change in Maddie Grant coming on at goal attack for the Tigers there. Once again, another Brisbane North Cougars turn Tigers recruit just to get a bit of more of an opportunity. So I believe Maddie Grant was the MVP of the under-19s league last year. She played quite well. She's still a nice young up-and-comer shooter.
It's a great pass and good timing on the movement from Amy Somerville to complete that particular goal. Tigers pushing out 53 to 44. This quarter's quite even at the moment, so it'll be interesting in these next few minutes as to which team can complete the match more effectively for that final bonus point of the match. I feel like Jonte Stridham at goal defence for the Bull Sharks has played a really strong match throughout. Her work rate and her effort has been high. She's continued to move her feet effectively and to challenge the goal attack.
Yeah, Leah Pugh just missing Dykstra there right in front of her, opting to go over the player in the defence end. And we have a tactical timeout to the Bull Sharks once again. Obviously the Bull Sharks coach doesn't look too happy with her players. Obviously wanting more from her players in this last 2 and a bit to the end of the game here.
So it is quite tight in this match, and the challenges become when you get to the end of the season that often 1 point can make a difference. So teams are wanting to continue to play hard in every quarter, that they want to continue at this time in the match, if they haven't necessarily got those earlier points, to feel like they've come away with some positives.
Yeah, and with obviously getting some bonus points on the board as well is really crucial coming down to the nitty-gritty end of the season as well. I believe you can, if you win a game as well as obviously win all the quarters, you can get up to, is it about 10 or 15 points?
10 points.
Yeah, that's, yep.
So it's definitely plenty to play for in these moments, which makes the games interesting the whole way through.
Definitely does.
So we'll see what the Bull Sharks are working on here for the last 3 minutes in an effort to take the bonus point from this last quarter.
That's a great cut by Riley Burns there. Unfortunately wasn't used. And great fake there by Kristen Oxenford, ensuring Jada Gaffer gets a little bit more advantage. Once again, toes over the line there by Dykstra, unfortunately.
The timing of the movement was great. Good hands over the ball there from Riley Burns. Umpire just letting you know that was a little bit close.
Great front space by Amy Somerville. The 2 defender fights over who wants the ball the most. Two and a bit to go. Bull Sharks are trailing Tigers 45 to 53 in round 3 of the HART Sapphire series. Well done, Leah Middleton. That intercept there.
There's a number of options for the MVP of the match, and as we spoke about earlier, the MVP of the HART Sapphire series gets the amazing Legassic Katie Walker Sapphire. Legassic are great sponsors of this event, and we appreciate them being on board, and the players certainly would appreciate winning that award.
Amy Somerville shot a goal again. She's shot quite well tonight. High percentage, high volume.
Tigers just pushing out 55 to 45 here with a minute to go
well
of the
done,
match.
Leah Pugh. Great front cut there. Has another shot at it. Umpire calls it contact on the keeper under the post.
Does look like Lily Gribble's come in to keep her and that Maddie Cooley's gone to the bench.
Great fake there by Katie Walker to ensure Schuster is on the top of the the circle there. Well done, Maddie Grant. That's her first goal of the HART Sapphire Series 2019. Obviously, Bond University Bull Sharks are working hard to win this quarter.
Good eyes up then from Leah Middleton.
Oh, well done, Kristen Oxenford against her good friend Leah Middleton. Oh, unlucky there. So with 7 seconds to go, Dallas want one more goal here. Oh, Leah steals it away and unlucky.
So the ball kind of flying around a little bit there in the last few seconds of the match. Congratulations to the Carina Leagues Club Tigers on taking out the match 56-46 against the Bond University Bull Sharks. And Tigers then just being able to sneak away with that final bonus point for the match, 14-13. There were lots of great play across the court, and then moments where both coaches would be walking away and saying we need to do more work in those areas.
Yeah.
Always great to reflect after a game on what was working.
Exactly right.
What we can do better and how we're going to do that next.
And it's only round 3 of the Sapphire Series League, so plenty of room for improvement in both teams.
We hope you've enjoyed watching this HART Sapphire Series match between the Carina Leagues Club Tigers and the Bond University Bull Sharks. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors: HART Sports, Legassic Jewelers, Mizuno Footwear, Mount Franklin, Powerade and Victor Sports. There's still one more match to happen here this afternoon at Queensland State Netball Centre. Please come on down and join us, or continue to follow it on the live streaming this afternoon. Our next match of the afternoon will be between USC Thunder and
Brisbane North Cougars, I believe.
Thank
Up
you.
at the sunny coast there, so I'm sure we'll have a live streaming of that as well if you tune in a couple of minutes.
Thanks for your company, Dom. We'll look forward to seeing you for the next match.
Thanks, Toppy.